What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of EdgeWorks Knife Studio. It's been a minute. It's been insane for me. Like no time for anything. So I'm finally glad I'm able to do a video. I did record something that I was working a little bit on, but haven't finished it yet. But I'm going to do this one today. What I'm going to do is I have one of my Oops, got flies real bad too. They're driving me crazy. One of my Shirogami 2 Santokus. This one's a TOSA, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen the import prices on these things. This was on Amazon $30, $31, 29 bucks, something like that. I think the other day, yesterday, day before, when I just checked, it was like $58 or $65 or something. It's because of import fees and stuff. That's insane, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, I'm gonna put an edge on this, and what I'm going to do is go through a progression. I'm going to do the 320 Rockstar. I'm going to hit a 1000 Chosera, the Chosera 1K, and then I'm going to do this Ruby. It's a sintered stone, but it's the Ruby stone from China. A lot of times I will use that depending on removing a stubborn burr, right? Because you can take the burrs off on a higher grit stone and get good results that way instead of using a strop, or you can use a strop even after the fact. I mean, it's just whatever you want to do. But I want to demonstrate what that will do. I'm actually going to use it slightly to put an edge as well as do a little deburring with it. So we'll go ahead and get that started. By the way, whenever you guys the packages that I dropped off, let me know in the email whenever you do get them, please. Or if you've gotten them, let me know. Because for some reason, USPS lately, anything I've sent or received has been extremely slow, or it'll get stuck in like a shipping depot. Like I'm close to St. Louis, like 2 hours from St. Louis, for example. I had a package sitting there for 3 weeks. And like I said, it's a 2-hour drive from St. Louis to my house. And it was, 3 weeks that it sat there. And I called them. They're like, oh, well, we don't see anything. And of course, the next day it started moving. So anyway, it's just been a pain. So whenever you do receive them, let me know in the email. And I'll follow up with you as well just to see. And then I'm going to try and find tracking numbers if you still haven't received them. Other than that, yeah, like I said, it's been busy. Had a kid at school today that destroyed the computers, and being the IT guy, it's a really big pain for me. So busy. But you're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk knife sharpening. I haven't even sharpened any knives in a week. The video I've been working on wasn't even a sharpening video. It was going over. It's going to be part of a sharpening video, but it has to do with sintered stones and stuff, talking about them. So we'll get that out hopefully this weekend, everything permitting. So here, you'll see this Chosera soaking back here. I like to soak it for a couple minutes before I start to use it, because they do absorb water. You don't want to soak a Chosera long term at all. If you do so, like, you can have a lot of problems. It's a magnesia stone. But anyway, so I noticed though I get better performance if I let it soak for 2 to 3 minutes, which is pretty close to that now. So I'm going to pull it out as I'm sharpening, but I'm going to go ahead and get started here on this Rockstar 320. And without further ado, we'll get her going. Hope you guys have had a less busy time than I've had, because man, it's been crazy. Can't even do my favorite pastime. One of the things I'm going to do too is how accurate someone that's been sharpening for the length of time that I have can be at holding an angle versus a fixed angle system. And then I got the cheaper cut stuff to do too and whatnot. So I got a lot of stuff lined up. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, we got a burr already. This is the one that I'd thinned. significantly. Yeah, I mean, that's an usable burr. I'm going to give it some more passes, but yeah, it looks good. Thinning does so much. Ugh. It's just such a good tool to have in your arsenal if you know how to thin well. It's not hard either. It's essentially sharpening with less angle holding. Actually, that's a good way to think about it. Maybe I need to do a full video on using that as an aspect. We'll see. I've done kind of a thinning / polishing video before, but I didn't dive deep into it. So looking at this here, yeah, we're even all the way across. Like I said, I got a burr tip to heel, and it's an even burr. It's been even since its initial conception there. So that's a testament to flattening and thinning. Because you get everything uniform, you know. You don't have, when you lay, well, again, because part of thinning is laying it flat and then grinding away on it. I'm going to take this out, by the way. I'm going to set it over here. You know, you're laying it flat on its bevels, and you're grinding away metal, getting everything even, so that when you go and you sharpen, and it's touching the stone, it's evenly touching the stone. There's less to worry about, so that's just something to keep in mind. If you don't know how to thin, and it's something you want to learn, or maybe now you do, I want you to hear me out. It is not hard, not at all. It's just like anything else, because I mean, freehand sharpening, if you haven't freehand sharpened before, is very overwhelming, you know, with all the thoughts of, do I have to do this, and you know, that kind of stuff. But really, it's not that hard. It's not that bad. It's all about, just like anything else, practice makes perfect. We're even. Once again, everything looks good. You know, I love this, the Rockstar series. I mean, I never thought that I didn't or anything, but they don't always get enough love all over. I know some of you guys do. Give them love, but I think it's because it's Shapton, and Shapton is such a giant that sometimes those kinds of things kind of get overshadowed and overlooked because, oh, it's another Shapton. You know it's going to perform. And then they don't really give it the limelight and the consideration that it deserves. You know, because sometimes people that have not been around this before, they might be like, well, I don't know much about it. And they'll be like, well, it's a Shapton, you know, it's fine. But that doesn't really tell anybody that's new anything. Maybe I need to do a whole Rockstar series or something. All right, I'm just going to deburr real quick because we're moving on to another stone. So just a couple quick passes, and there is burr all over. This knife is very, I don't want to say chippy, because it's not chippy, but whenever the burr flakes off, it's, you know, because some of them in Shirogami 2, whenever the burr comes off, I get it in like large chunks. Not this one, not so much. It's more like little pieces. I don't know. Maybe I had a burned edge and I'm finally past it. Who knows? Only time will tell. I mean, this is an inexpensive knife, so I'm not looking for perfection. All right, so again, I wasn't looking for some massive deburr. I'm just knocking the burr itself off. And now we're going to move over to the Chosera. The good old Chosera 1000. It's a great stone. Love the Choseras. I know a lot of you guys do too. This obviously being a newer version of it, not on a stand. I have an older, well, I say older, less new version of the 400 that's still on the stand, but this is a Japanese variant. That's one of the ones that is sold in Japan. Supposed to be Japan only, but we know how that goes. All right. Come home the other day and my son had left the back door open for half of a work day. He just gone outside and left things going. We got so many flies in the house. It's insanity. Love that feel. It's that infamous chalky feel that I always say I love, but still velvety smooth. And there's no doubt about that it's cutting. I mean, you can see the metal right there. So once again, a uniform burr already formed. This is Shirogami 2 steel. So yes, that's going to be not difficult to sharpen. But I like mentioning how quickly these things can get sharpened on non-diamond steels, or non-diamond stones. Trying to use the whole stone. How you guys been, by the way? I haven't talked to you in a week. I know that we mostly talk to the comments and stuff, but I really enjoy making videos. It's I honestly think it helps me mentally, you know, with my mental health. Yeah, that stuff today really kind of tore me up. Number one, because I hate to see kids hurting and having issues. But on the other hand, you know, I told you guys our school is very much in a financial danger zone. And I don't have any spare computers right now because they've all either been broken or whatever. And this kid goes and decides to smashed this one on the concrete repeatedly and then threw it into the road, where it proceeded to get ran over by a truck. There's no coming back from that one. All right, we've got a really good burr. I'm going to give it some long passes again real quick. Actually, I'm going to do the short strokes, or the individualized strokes, into long strokes, then we'll go to the other side. It's also crazy to think it's September already. I'm actually kind of excited. Well, not kind of. I am excited for cooler weather because, number one, it's going to be a lot easier to get out there and forge. I mean, I don't have a problem forging in the summertime, but it's just so hot sometimes here. You got like the humid days, because we get some really humid days. Feels like you're in a tropical front or something. All right. Break on through to the other side, baby. Listen to that. Sounds so good. Burr feels good. Well, I got a little dry spot there. Well, I'm obviously not on it yet. Why don't you guys comment down below? Tell me how many of you have already obtained one of these ruby stones, and how do you like it? What do you think about it? I know some people kind of have mixed opinions about it, but ultimately the consensus is it's a good stone. I mean, especially considering how much it is. I paid $30 for mine, which is about the going price. Well, I don't know what it is now with the tariffs, but you can get them on Amazon, I think, still relatively cheap. You know, about the $30 price tag. But yeah, those of you that do have it, tell me your thoughts. What do you think? How do you prefer to use it? Those that do. Nice small little bevel. All right, just a little bit more. So focus strokes into long, and then we'll do a slight little deburr, and then we'll move on to the ruby stone, which it's listed as a 3000 grit stone. I'll show you up some microscope footage. I would probably say it's about that. It's close. I mean, I don't know if it's exactly 3000, but... And it is a sintered stone. So it's formed by a sintering process. So it's essentially the same way that you know, the chiefer cuts and stuff are made. Okay. Double check everything. I saw a funny thing today. A guy said, "How am I supposed to clean my knives?" And I'm not trying to troll anybody that is on the Reddit forums or anything, because it's a genuine question. But it's funny because he had a sponge, and he had very clearly taken it. This is the sponge in his left hand, taken it with a sharp knife and ran it like this to clean it. You know, squeeze it around it. He's like, "How am I supposed to clean it?" And I didn't comment because I didn't want to sound like a jackass, but I mean, never thought to go down the spine. It's funny. Honestly, though, sometimes just simple thought like that isn't always on the forefront. It's not, doesn't mean anybody's like incapable or something, but I just thought it was funny. Found it comical. Like, and that takes some balls, you know, to post on a forum. And I think he kind of realized that, and he posted that in his comments. I thought it was funny. Not like making fun of the guy, but like funny as in like it made me chuckle. Okay, that should be good. Actually, I'm going to do... Okay. I think good now. I think we're good before, but... Just checking things here. Oh man. This thing is super duper sharp. Like, super bitey. Before we move on, here, let me clean this off. Before I move, I'm going to do a quick cut. Just because I think it deserves it. This is what a proper, albeit small, progression will do for you. Let me dry it off a little more. And then we'll continue on to the ruby. This will actually kind of give you a little bit of a, a difference, I guess, a comparison, right? Between this and then the ruby. So here's the 1000 grit, no stropping. I mean, that is smooth and quiet. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a push cut here, a little push. You know what I mean? And if we grab a little paper tool, I'm gonna grab one of these. I hate these paper towels. They don't cut very well. So this will be a perfect towel to cut with. Let's just see. Yeah, see, I hate it. But there we go. Yeah, this thing is massively sharp. These paper towels, for whatever reason, and you can see I caught the corner down there, they don't cut well. And I don't understand why. Once you finally find the groove, stupid fly, they cut well. These paper towels is the ones I normally use. And this is like the other paper towels that I've always used, paper towels I've used in the past. And they cut really well if you have a sharp knife. They do not cut well for nothing. Screw it, I give up. Anyway, there, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I made a fool of myself. Let's go ahead and go to the next. Here, the little ruby. So there it is. It's about, what, 2 inches wide, 8.5 inches, or 8 inches long. This is for Corey Phillips, by the way. It asked me to do this, and I obliged. Stupid paper towels. All right, so these, I don't always use it this way, okay? I just want to get that out there first. Again, like I said, I normally use it as a deburring tool. I don't not do this, but I'm just saying, for the most part, I use other stones for this kind of stuff. So we're going to go ahead. Some people use this with oil. That's perfectly fine if you want to. Using something like, well, this is in a bottle, but this is Smith's honing oil in the white bottle. That's I think it's a non-petroleum based. Let me grab it. Just so you can see, this is my preferred honing oil. Some people just use mineral oil. That's perfectly fine too. I have lots of stuff apparently. I've got like my own little store over there in the corner. This is what I normally use. I call it the honing solution. For use on all sharpening stones. Let's see. I thought it said that it wasn't petroleum based. Whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is, I use it. I even use it on like my diamond 1x6s, you know. Sometimes like the CBN stones. That's usually where I use it. I don't use it on any other stones outside of that. Yeah, that's usually the only place. That and sometimes plated diamond stones. And it doesn't affect them in any way, which is why I use it. Let's give her a listen. Some of you have asked me in the past why I go slow at the beginning like this. It's because I'm sizing up the stone. I'm sizing up the knife that I'm using on the stone. Just kind of getting a feel for the bevel and how it sits on the stone, for the pressure that I'm going to need to apply, you know, that kind of stuff. Oh, I almost jacked up there. So it's hard to see. And honestly, I've got a burr. That's unbelievable. I forget how amazing this stone is. So if you can see here, I mean, you can see the metal on there. Can't see it great, I guess, because it's faint, which is fine. But I already have a burr, which it's not unexpected because, again, this is a great stone. I don't know if it's going to matter to anybody because the stone's abrasive size is its size, but I did lap and true this with the 140 grit chef knives to go diamond plate. So that's what I always use for most of the time if I'm not using my Atoma 140. I did not go over it with the 400 Atoma. I have before, but the last time I did it, I just used the 140 chef knives to go. So I'm going to give this one more round on the ruby on this side. I may give it a little extra love, and then I'm going to switch. We'll deburr, and I'll give you guys the cut test and the microscope shots. So, as far as my pressure goes, it's just like anything else, just the standard, normal light pressure. It might be like light to moderate, nothing significant. And I don't know if this accounts for anything to anyone. It kind of does to me a little bit. It lets me know that it might be cutting more fiercely or less fiercely, I guess. But the burr is slightly larger than on the 1000 grit Chaucera, just FYI. I don't think it's enough to really make a huge difference. So if I look here, man, that is a beautiful bevel. It's got a nice little shine to it. I don't know how well that'll come across there, but you can kind of see it reflecting some there. And it's all the way, baby. A nice, perfect little bevel. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love this stone. I don't use it enough. I honestly ought to need to add it into the rotation more. Maybe I'll do several things using this stone. Different steels and whatnot to kind of showcase its capabilities, We'll do some Magna Cut, some HAP 40, some ZDP. In regards to the going slow and sizing up thing, I don't know that that's said enough in sharpening tutorials and videos either, that taking your time, getting a feel, and doing it right is going to go so much further than just banging out, 100 knives, 10 knives, 50 knives, whatever, as fast as you can. Because if you've got 10 knives that have a garbage edge on them, I mean, what good are they? Look at that steel. Whenever you feel this thing, you would not think that it's a cutter. As far as the feel of using it, which I normally let you guys know, it's glass-like. So it's very similar to my Shaft and Glass 8K, the Kuramaku 12K, all of those that kind of have that ceramic feel. It's very similar. Yeah. If I had to ballpark it and put it in with something. It's got excellent feedback. Like, I can tell if I happen to move like by a micro movement or something, you know. It tells me when to correct. I mean, the stone tells me what to do. It dictates what's going on. It's a dictator. You'd have to know which meme I'm talking about to know why I said that way. It does have a little buildup. It's not terrible, and it doesn't really seem to affect anything. But it's of note. Ooh. Okay. I do believe that's all, folks. Let's go ahead and we'll deburr. Just kind of looking everything over, making sure it all looks good and uniform still. I didn't screw anything up, I hope, because I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. I could have completely undone what I just did with the 1K. I've had that happen I don't know how many times in my sharpening career. Admitting your mistakes is the first step to correcting them. Learned that a long time ago. Helps my marriage. It doesn't benefit either one of you if you're both always thinking you're right while one is and the other isn't, and you just stick by your guns even though you are. It's got me in so many fights. I don't even think I'll need the strap. Let's check it out. Dry my fingers off here so I can properly feel. Well, I don't think I hurt it any. So I must have held the right angle. What do you know? That's what decades of experience do. Or decade, not decades. All right, let's listen. Let's hear any catches. I think there is a catch. It's still stupid sharp. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to use this rough side of this strop, the Hutsul strop here. I didn't even look at it. Let me use the Carson Microbrite first, and I'll just see if I left anything behind. Of course I did. No biggie. That's what strops are for. These flies are going to die. I don't know if you can see them on the camera flying all around my head and stuff, but I've got pitcher plants and fly traps. You know, like the nepenthes, the pitcher plants that they fly into and they get digested. And of course, I got Venus fly traps. I love carnivorous plants. And it had a feast last night. I counted 26 flies in my pitcher plants. So they ought to grow big and strong. They already are, but smooth side of the Hutsul strop here. I'm pretty sure that ought to do her. If there's any burr left after that, I just suck. Ooh, doggy. Yeah. This is, yeah. Woo. That's folding over on me there. Let's stop folding. Yeah, and we know the paper test just tells us there's no catches, there's no like weird spots, none of that kind of stuff, but also that it's really sharp. Now, let's go ahead and grab our Le Paper Towel. Well, it started to and then stopped. It's catching. Why is it catching like that? This is the one that normally doesn't give me a trouble. And it's the one being stupid. Hold on. Let me use the normally stupid paper towel. Don't use the corner, kids. Come on, you. Why is this? I don't know. I mean, it's seriously sharpened. Huh. I don't know. That's weird because it was doing it. This is a different piece, of course, now. But I mean, this is just barely holding on to it, and it's sharpened, cutting it right through, no problem. So I don't know. But this thing's sharper than it needs to be. Or I shouldn't say sharper than it needs to be. This thing's sharp enough. You're definitely going to be cutting some veggies and meat and stuff with that. So this thing is beautiful. For 30 bucks, I mean, this is one of my many daily drivers. I have so many knives that I use. It's insane. But yeah, there it is. So this ruby stone, you can get them on AliExpress. You know, like I said, well, again, I haven't checked them since the new tariff updates, but they were about $30 to $35 shipped from AliExpress. Let me get you guys over here. You can get them on Amazon, or could, for about that price as well. What I'll do is I'll post a link. I'll post a link to this one that I bought from AliExpress just in case it is close to the same price. I'll post a link to an Amazon store that sells them. That's the same one, same size. That way you can take a look for yourself. Great stones, very dense. I mean, this thing it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavier than my large size stones. Like, if I were to compare it to, well, hell, this Chiefer cut here with a full aluminum back and then the abrasive, it feels slightly heavier than this. So, there, I don't know, take from it what you will. I think it's a great investment, especially considering the price. I don't think it's a bad deal at all. So if you're interested in one, absolutely get one. Take a look at the microscope shots, you know, see for yourself, see what you think. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in. That's what I got for you today. I should have some more stuff this weekend that's based on the cheaper cut stuff and other things too. Trying to get right back on track if I can ever get there, guys. But your support means the world to me. I thank y'all for being there and showing me support and whatnot. And until this weekend, peace.